Hello, everyone, and welcome to the tendeitem channel. And so today, guys, I'm going to be doing predictions for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Now, before I get started, I will be doing watchalongs on the channel, at least one game per day, at least throughout the tournament. So, yeah, obviously, do check those live watchalongs when they happen live. Obviously, with the first game being the opening game on Sunday. Obviously, you guys will see this very soon. But yeah, we might as well get started. Obviously, I am making predictions for the Africa Cup of Nations. My record with that, as you can see right here, it's pretty decent, I would say. Now, obviously, this will be kind of like my first time covering the AFCON on my channel, so yeah, it's going to be quite interesting to see how everything does throughout this tournament. So yeah, we'll get started with Group A, and we have here is Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. Now, obviously, both of these sides have been kind of like all of these teams here. You could probably say Morocco are probably the heavy favorite, and I think they will be the heavy favorite. The other three teams, I'm not quite sure. Obviously, Mali's the second seeded team in this group, and you probably expect them to finish second. Now, people are saying Zambia are a little bit down in the dumps at the moment. Same thing with Comoros. But I will be giving the benefit of the doubt, and my predictions in Group A are Morocco to finish in first and advance with 9 points. And spoiler, they are the only team I'm predicting to get 9 points in the group stage. Mali in second with 4 points. I have Zambia qualifying on 3 points, and then Comoros only on 1 point, getting eliminated. So I have three teams from Group A advancing to the round of 16. Group B, we have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. Obviously, Egypt with Mo Salah, Marmoush, and all. You probably expect them to probably win this tournament as well, just like Morocco and a few other teams. South Africa is a little bit. People are getting on the hype train, you could say, of South Africa. Either by hook or by crook. Pretty decent team, obviously qualified for the World Cup. You have Angola, obviously not really that impressive, and same thing with Zimbabwe. However, I'm actually going with a very, very odd prediction. This is probably one of the oddest ever predictions. We have 6 games in this group, Group B, and I am predicting that every single game in Group B finishes as a draw, meaning that all 4 teams finish on 3 points, 0 wins, 0 losses, 3 draws. But of course, someone or maybe 2 of them get unlucky, and this is how I see it. I have, as I said, all 3 teams on 3 points, and in first place I have Egypt, second place I have Angola, third place I have South Africa, and last place is Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, I just think Zimbabwe will not score as many goals as the other 3 teams, and of course, everyone's goal difference will be 0. But Zimbabwe probably scoring only 1 or 2 goals, but that might not be enough for them to advance. And I think Egypt will be the highest goal scorers in the group, and maybe Angola, South Africa. Maybe it's almost like a flip of a coin, you could say. So yeah, that's how I see Group B. The top 3 advancing, and Zimbabwe being the unlucky ones heading out. Group C, we have Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. Now, obviously, Nigeria just missed out on the World Cup. Tunisia is the only team in this group in the World Cup. Uganda, Tanzania, you don't know what to expect from them, but, Uganda looked all right during the qualifiers, so maybe their form carries on. And this is another big shock. Look who I have. I have Uganda topping the group on 6 points. I have Tunisia also advancing on 5 points. And then the surprise of the tournament, believe it or not, you guys will probably hate me if you support them. I have the Super Eagles, Nigeria, getting eliminated from the AFCON in the group stage. Now, AFCON always throws up a lot of surprises, And that's going to be one of the big surprises. I think Nigeria, with that World Cup disappointment, I just don't see it with this Nigeria team. Maybe they can prove me wrong, and maybe they win it in the end. And Tanzania, I think they'll put up a bit more of a fight, but just don't have the quality in the end to overcome all these teams. But yeah, Nigeria being the team heading out of the tournament, Uganda topping the group as well. It's a big surprise. Next up, we have Group D with Senegal, Dr. Congo. Yes, Dr. Congo, I'm calling them. Benin and Botswana. Now, obviously, there is an obvious two. There's Senegal and Dr. Congo, and then you have Benin and Botswana. And I think that's how it's going to end. However, this is what I have. I have Dr. Congo topping the group on 7 points. I also have Senegal progressing on 5 points. I have a big surprise. I have Botswana getting points in this group. As I said, the AFCON is unpredictable, and I'm going unpredictable. Botswana will get their victory over Benin in the second match day. However, I just think the goal difference will be not that good, and I think they'll miss out as one of the best third place teams, and Benin being a little bit of a disappointment, finishing in last. So I only have Dr. Congo and Senegal progressing. Group E, I think this is the group of death, I'll be honest. You have Algeria, or as I like to call them, algebra class, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. Now, another bit of a prediction I have in this group, I have, before the final match day, I have all three teams on 3 points. I have everyone 1 win, 1 loss before the final match day. And this is how I see it, ending with algebra class, Algeria finishing in first. I have Burkina Faso in second on 4 points. I have Sudan in third, and I have a bit of a, you could say it's a bit of a shock, Equatorial Guinea finishing in last on 3 points. Because I think the record is like they've progressed from the group stage in every competition in the AFCON they've played in. So it's going to be a bit of a shock. I have. And Sudan progressing as one of the best third place teams. Finally, we go into Group F. We have the defending champions, Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire. You have Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique, or as I like to say, Mozambique. This, as I said, it's going to be another surprise. Here we go, people. Look, Ivory Coast topping the group, not really a surprise. On 5 points, Gabon also on 5 points, but I just think the goal difference, Ivory Coast will have just a bit more. Mozambique on 4 points and getting that big win over Cameroon. Cameroon, I'm predicting Cameroon to get eliminated in the group stage, just like Nigeria. So I have both Nigeria and Cameroon getting eliminated in the group stage of the AFCON. Big surprise. And Mozambique progressing as one of the best third place teams, which means that my round of 16 matchups will be as follows. You have Mali versus Tunisia. You have Dr. Congo against Mozambique. You have Egypt against Zambia. And then you have Ivory Coast against Burkina Faso. You have Angola against Gabon. You have Morocco against Sudan. You have algebra class, Algeria, taking on Senegal, probably the game of the round. And Uganda against South Africa. So the first match, Mali, Tunisia, and oh my God, someone's calling me. Spam call. Well, you might as well spam some crosses because I do have Tunisia progressing and Dr. Congo beating Mozambique. So that's the first bit of the round of 16 finish. I have Egypt beating, I have Egypt beating Zambia, and a surprise, I have Burkina Faso beating the defending champions, Ivory Coast, in the round of 16, probably on penalties or something like that. So I have Burkina Faso progressing. Next, I have Angola taking on Gabon, and I have Gabon winning. And I also have Morocco beating Sudan as well. So that's how I see that side of the bracket ending up. And obviously the big game of the round, you have algebra class Algeria taking on Senegal. as you have Senegal progressing, with South Africa getting the edge over Uganda, one the surprise package I have. And that's how the round 16 will finish. And these will be the quarterfinal matchups. You have Tunisia against Dr. Congo. You have Egypt against Burkina Faso. You have Gabon against Morocco. You have Senegal against South Africa. So the first quarterfinal, Tunisia against Dr. Congo. I think this is where Dr. Congo get a bit unstuck. I have Tunisia progressing. And another surprise here, I actually have Burkina Faso beating Egypt in the quarterfinal. So that's one side of the bracket finish. On the other side, you have Gabon against Morocco, and you have Senegal against South Africa. I do think Morocco are just too strong for Gabon. And I'd actually predict South Africa to beat Senegal, probably on penalties or something like that, in the quarterfinal, which means that our semifinal are Tunisia against Burkina Faso and Morocco against South Africa. Maybe a bit of a weird semifinal bunch of teams you have. Now, who's going to be making the final? My final for the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 in Morocco will be a North African derby between Tunisia and Morocco, just like it was in 2004, I believe it was, about almost 22 years ago. But first, obviously, they do have a third place game, which obviously means that I have Burkina Faso against South Africa, and the team to finish in third place with the bronze medal once again is South Africa, with Burkina Faso finishing in fourth. And now let's talk about the final. Tunisia against Morocco. A bit of an unfancied final. I'm probably one of the only few people with a North African, all North African final. It's a tough one because Morocco have a lot of pressure to win, whereas Tunisia not really. But somehow I have Tunisia making it this far into the tournament. And the final in Rabat, I believe it is in the final. The winner of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations will be Tunisia. Boom. Big surprise. Yeah. I'm going with a bit of a shock in this AFCON. I have Tunisia winning the Africa Cup of Nations for only the second time in their history. And the only time was against, well, coincidentally, the team they beat in the final, the only time they've won it in 2004. I have Morocco losing and finishing as runners-up in the tournament with, as I said, Tunisia winning the Africa Cup of Nations. So a bit of a surprise. But yeah, big shock in the AFCON for sure if this was to happen. Even though North Africa teams are probably going to do well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my 2025 Africa Cup of Nations predictions. Obviously, as I said, I will be doing live watch-alongs on the channel. So please, let's see how good my predictions are. Please do hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel, obviously. As I said, watch-alongs coming up on the channel. See you on, Sunday, the 21st of December with Morocco against Comoros.